help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code Blueberry004. That's BLUBRRY004.
Alante here again with PLUGHITZ Live, part of the Tech Podcast Network. I'm coming back to the J5 group. We're talking with Brandon here about some interesting technology. It looks like we've got a device that seems to be kind of bridging two computers together. Does that sound about right?
That's correct. That's correct.
All right. So tell us about it. Tell us how this works.
Absolutely. So essentially what we have here is a Wormhole device that will allow for you, if you have two computers you're working with simultaneously, either to extend the display of one desktop or laptop to the other, or extend the previous one mentioned to the other, so vice versa essentially. What it'll also allow you to do is if you have data or files or whatever on one desktop, you can transfer them just by hitting the middle mouse button. So essentially the snap of a finger, you can just transfer your data, your file, right over by bridging these two devices with this Wormhole device.
Okay, excellent. So let me take a step back a bit, because we know what extending a display means, but I just want to make sure that we talk about exactly how it works, right? So when you say this device is allowing you to extend the display from one computer to the other, is it turning the second computer into a second monitor for the other computer?
Exactly. So extending is essentially what you just said. We're basically extending the display to another monitor or computer. It does have the ability to duplicate. Might be some use cases for that if anyone's interested in duplicating their display. But I would say the biggest use cases are going to be that extending thing. So yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Duplication, I've never really found a big use for it, but it comes in handy sometimes. But that's good, and it can switch back and forth. It doesn't matter the orientation and things like that. So that's good. And just so our audience knows, the setup that we have behind us, we've got a is it a laptop? Or yeah, that's a laptop device here, and we've got hooked up to this to the screen behind us. There's a desktop computer behind me, and so this the device that's sitting in between them is bridging via USB-C?
Yep, so it's USB-C that is currently being bridged to what could be a USB-C, but it also works with a USB Type A adapter.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is it limited to that USB-C, or can it be any other kind of display option?
Yeah, no, essentially it is USB-C, USB-C to USB-C, but like I said, on one end there is that adapter. I think on both ends actually there is that USB Type A adapter that comes with it in case you are USB-A or you have an older device.
All right, excellent. So now let's touch on that second subject that you brought up, and that's file transfer. So you said that you can essentially take a file from one desktop to the other. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. Tell us how it works.
So essentially, the Wormhole device that we made is a plug-and-play device. The software the firmware rather, that it comes with it is essentially you plug it in. It is all set up. No external drivers from my knowledge, nothing else needed. Once you do that, essentially like you just said, all you have to do is once you hit the middle mouse button, and it is reprogrammable, we can put it to whatever key you want, but the middle mouse button will move your mouse from whatever desktop it's currently connected on to whatever desktop that it's not connected on. So if I'm working on this laptop behind me, moving my mouse around, I press the middle mouse button, it'll now move that mouse to the desktop, the screen that's behind me. So essentially, with the middle mouse button, you'll be able to switch and transfer files between two desktops, two computers simultaneously.
That's excellent. So you're basically just, let's say your file is on the desktop, right? And you go and right-click on the file, so you're holding it. Do you just middle mouse and then it instantly transfers over to the other desktop?
That's correct, and you'll get to see a demo of that here, but that's generally correct, yes.
That's fantastic, honestly. A lot of us, including the CEO of the company, he's probably going to chuckle a little bit when he sees this, when he's doing the editing, works on multiple desktops, especially our software engineers and some of our artists and things like that, work on multiple different desktops, is interesting to see how this device is kind of making that process of switching between desktops and transferring files and things like that a little more seamless. So that's very cool. Do you have any other details that you'd like to share about it? Is it powered by anything external, or is it just straight one device to the other?
So it is generally just straight one device to the other. There are a few ports on it. There's a USB Type A, two USB Type A ports and a USB Type C port. So, just for your external like hard drives, other things, in case you need anything in terms of data. But essentially, if you're just going to be using the device to work between computers, all you need is just the device itself.
That's pretty neat that it's got its own USB devices that it can essentially transfer files back and kind of be its own middleman, so to speak.
Exactly that.
So that's pretty cool. Well, thank you very much, Brandon, for all of the information about this device. I think it's super interesting. It's super cool. I think a lot of people can find a lot of practical use out of this. Again, a lot of us have multiple devices out there. It's pretty common to have more than one computer in the home, and a lot of these devices work separately. But sometimes you need to transfer files. Sometimes you need some pictures sitting sent over to another computer, or so on and so forth. So it's nice that they've come out with a device that is powered simply by connecting the two PCs together. It doesn't need its own power source, and you can even plug in your own external storage to the device itself. In case if you're working on a tablet or something like that that has limited USB ports, I think that's fantastic. It just sounds like an excellent idea. And just to reiterate or to bring this up, this is just a prototype, right?
So essentially, this is prototype demo, terminology.
But not a product coming to market like right now, tomorrow, right?
Yeah, to my current understanding, we actually have a version of this device that's already on the market. It's an older version of the Wormhole. Now, specifically with this one, though, like I said, this one with its newer functions will be coming, I want to say within a year. I don't have an exact launch date or MSRP, but a lot of the products we are showcasing at CES this year are newer products as part of our 2023 roadmap.
All right, so we're looking for more towards either the end of the year or next year for like the release date of this for this device, right?
That's correct.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks again for all the information. And thank you all at home, as always, for tuning in. And for all of this coverage and more, please stay tuned to PLUGHITZlive.com/CES.